killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my people. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering?
Absolutely.
Should a thief go to jail when he steals?
Absolutely.
Should a robber pay back the money he robbed?
Absolutely.
So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did?
That's right. That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just Isupk sat in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles and make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood, Slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. There was design 5 for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Birdies, bust their head.
ODing on the beat, Narcan flow. Got my... We outside, outside. We outside, outside with it. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in the store, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, outside, cause we outside. Before the COVID had the mask and we was outside. The Glock loaded, extra mag and it's outside. There's one West for that bag and we outside. We outside. I got the world in the palm of my hand. One West sleeve stretch, do it live on the gram. Had a whole world viewing, click and subscribe. Had them niggas off the block, tell them shooters they want a job. I just put them on the payroll. When I get control them, I just mold them like they Play-Doh. Soldiers giving halos, trying to get up at them pesos. 40 cows send you out of space, Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos, leave you all boxed up, all cause my delivery. I be on that prime shit, take you time to get with me. Got me like Vladimir, treat you like the Ukraine. Raid your little city, now you boating like Usain. Scope costs more than the rifle, I got new aim. Fresh kick, spit with the blick, not my shoe game. Used to have a dirty 30 tied to a shoestring. Now I got that Ruger 5 and 7, that's my boot thing. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in the store, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, outside, cause we outside. Before the COVID had the mask and we was outside. The Glock loaded, extra mag and it's outside. There's one West for that bag and we outside. We outside. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in the store, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, outside, cause we outside. Before the COVID had the mask and we was outside. The Glock loaded, extra mag and it's outside. There's one West for that bag and we outside. We outside. I don't talk hardly, be there when you call me. Send them Philly clippers at your head like a baldy. Chopper get to run down your block like a Harley. No, this ain't a big hog, this the big dog.
In your city, swinging through the jungle like it's pitfall. In the water wading, marching to my cadence. Big bursts of thunder in my hands like I'm raiding. Shitty Mortal Kombat sounds, but I ain't playing.
Look 'em in the eye before the war like a weigh-in. I'm up in the AM, politicking movements with that Draco from the vid because it's proven. Waiting on my brother out of bed, he ain't do shit. That's how life go. Win some, you lose. Seen a little nigga beat a big nigga out his shoes. Seen that nigga come back, pull up with a gun strap, rob everybody outside, told him run that. We outside. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in the store, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, outside, yeah, we outside. Before the COVID had the mask and we was outside. My Glock loaded, extra mag and it's outside. It's one West for that bag and we outside. Outside, outside, yeah, we outside. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in the store, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. We outside, outside, and we outside. Outside, outside, yeah, we outside. We outside, outside, yeah, we outside. There's one West on them corners and we outside. We outside, outside with it.
To the left. Sight.
One West, 125th Street. Look, y'all put y'all faith in presidents like they gon' change this country. Run the league and let y'all play cause y'all gon' make a money. Fuck Obama, he ain't come here on cargo slave ship. What the fuck he do for blacks in his administration? I'm waiting, patient like a saint. Black, Hispanic, Native, they hate your ass the same. Paint Christ in they image, paint you as a slave. God ain't all love, scriptures say he hate. African soul niggas, they know we not the same. School to prison pipeline to get you off the streets. Put you in the cell toilet connected to the sink. Molested as a kid, she prostituted as a teen. The byproduct of Martin Luther King dream. They just took the yoke off, my nigga, we ain't free. We living bleak in these wastelands of poverty. If you don't know the truth, then the lies sound promising. Prophecy, gift and the curse. Dylan started killing, they was sitting in church. Black folk forgave him, man, this shit is absurd. You should never love your enemy, that shit ain't gon' work. Yeah, fuck dying on your knees, you better die in glory. Man, I joined the UPK, taught me the art of warring. I took a nigga life like mine to be recognized. I feel that pain every day, it can't be reconciled. Pops banging, my sister a prostitute. My brother got life, and somehow I still found the truth. War ready, no cowards, no excuse. Fuck reparations, you can't bandage no open wounds. Blood on the leaves, body swing hung from a noose. I was on a run in Nashville when I found the truth. I called the school, classes being held by the shock. On my life, I want to be a gangster like a cop. Do this for my brothers, real brotherhood. Everything we do, we got it out this book. My nigga, I can never be no African. UPK the only authorized acronym. I'm passionate about my brothers and sisters. We in hell, I ain't got nothing against them. That's another religion. If it ain't under your honor, Amy murdered by them and got a hug from your honor. That's the way out for a coward in my observation. They don't fear the Lord, they indoctrinated. Wolves in sheep clothing, Joe Osteen. Real priests bringing back black royalty. One West on my headpiece, ranking order. Can't let them trick me off the streets, I gotta raise my daughter. I got brothers at the border ducking ICE agents. I got the name change, it was life changing. My family thought it was a game, put on all black, they said I was going through a phase. It's more of us in jail than it was slaves. Chose by the Lord, we could never be the same. Soon as they born, the wicked go astray. They left the truth, they wasn't with us anyway. Niggas weak, they just saying anything to be truthful. We don't want no cowards anyway. Look, coronavirus, that's a plague. You don't get too much sleep when you waking up the dead. First camp, I cut off all my dreads. I took an oath when that oil hit my head. Niggas capping like they lids. I'm a priest, I never stick no fork in no pig. I was dead till I found out how to live. This brotherhood taught me how to be a man. I came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church. Came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church.
That should be it.
Marjorie stand, just us.
First priest, present thy registry.
Azan, Banya Parayam, Azan, Banya Aparayam, Banya Shrub.
Azan, Banapayam, Banyasharala. Maja Shabbat. Maja. Right.
Yahweh Bashim Yashab Bakata.
Yahweh Bashim Yashab Rakata.
Lashyar. La.
Yasharala.
Yashrub.
Marjorie to stand. Akadami to face the east. You can do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayah. Kwadesh. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Balabaka. Taba'ah. Ratazai. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'aratiza. Kawak. Hayah. Bashamayah. Nuthalana.
Become.
Cow. You won. Basalakna. Kabawatna. Kasalakna. Kabawayana. Wara'a. Tabayayana. On the side one.
On the side one.
Above. How we shine now. My yun. Ride. Kaya. Look up. Hamalakwa. Waha'ala. Watapara. Da'awalami.
Aman in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. That will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be.
I cut the power of the Hebrew, Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahweh Shai. Baba Kashab. The Telenau. Hakat. Lerpa'ah. Call Makala. We'll call matter what. Hakat. That's a heart. Hamatazariah. Hakat. Lahaki. Hamathi. Hakat. Al-Kawa. Tama'ala. The God's son. Ba'ashem Yahweh. What
in the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Please give us the power. Power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. Power to cleanse the leper. Power to raise the dead. Power against unclean spirits. Cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you, so be it.
The best is of the Hebrew. We did the name of Gamagan. Said love of lovers like Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahweh Shai. Baraklanau. Bayashala. Wahabaya. Sapari. Barak. Magun. Hagun.
Brandon Wilcox Sr.
Brandon Wilcox Sr.
The entire Anderson family. The entire Lucky family. The entire McAllister family. The entire Thornton family. The entire Jordan family. Camilla. Francine. Kimber. Done.
Brandon Wilcox Sr.
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 The Biller family.
The Biller family.
The Skiller family.
The Skiller family.
The Radcliffe family.
The Radcliffe family.
All Israel. Done.
Brandon Wilcox family.
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 Arizaga family.
Arizaga family.
Reyes family. Done.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
What a month.
In the English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Bless us.
Bless us.
And Israel. And the school.
Bless.
Heal.
Shield.
Protect. In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you, so be it.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asher up. Ayanya. Al-Hahari. Ma'ayan. Yabba up. Izari. Ma'ayin. Yahweh. Aisha. Shamayam. Ba'aratazah. Ayathan. Number what? Ragog. Al-Yanawam. Shamar. Nala'ah. Yanawam. Wala'ah. Yayashun. Shawamor. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shamar. Yahweh. Tazal. Al-Yeh. Yamika. Yawamah. Hashamash. La'ah. Yakai. Wayarab. Belayallah. Yahweh. Yashamar. Makal Ride. Yashamar. Athnapasha. Yahweh. Yashamar. Taza'ab. Wawa'aka. Ma'ida. Wa'ai. Awalum.
In the English. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help coming from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee. Will not slumber. Behold. He that keepeth Yasharallah. Shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day. Nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out. And thy coming in. And thy coming in. This time forth. From this time forth. And even forevermore. And forevermore.
Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayam.
Alahayam.
Al-Damayah.
Al-Damayah.
Lekut.
Lekut.
All Takarash.
All Takarash.
All Tashaquat.
All Tashaquat.
All Kayahana.
Kayahana.
Awanika.
Awanika.
Yahama.
Yahama.
Yawan.
Yawan.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al-Anika.
Al-Anika.
Yarayamu.
Yarayamu.
Sawadah.
Sawadah.
Wayadah.
Wayadah.
Ya'ai Tazawah.
Ya'ai Tazawah.
Al-Tazawah.
Al-Tazawah.
Barwa.
Barwa.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakaki Adam.
Wanakaki Adam.
Magalia.
Magalia.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yasakar.
Yasakar.
Sham Yasha'ala.
Sham Yasha'ala.
Awadah.
Awadah.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawai Tazawah.
Nawai Tazawah.
Labat.
Labat.
Yakad.
Yakadwa.
Ayak.
Ayak.
Arya.
Arya.
Yakaranta.
Yakaranta.
Ahalya.
Ahalya.
Adawan.
Adawan.
Wayashmai.
Wayashmai.
Alayam.
Alayam.
Mawa'aba.
Mawa'aba.
Wahagaria.
Wahagaria.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wa'amawan.
Wa'amawan.
Wa'amalat.
Wa'amalat.
Palashat.
Palashat.
Am Yishabi.
Am Yishabi.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gum Ashawar.
Gum Ashawar.
Nalawat.
Nalawat.
Imam.
Imam.
Hayawat.
Hayawat.
Zerawat.
Zerawat.
Banya.
Banya.
The what?
The what?
Salah.
Salah.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Laham.
Laham.
Kamani.
Kamani.
Kasaya.
Kasaya.
Sara'ah.
Sara'ah.
Kayabi.
Kayabi.
Banakal.
Banakal.
Koyashawan.
Koyashawan.
Nashamani.
Nashamani.
Ma'ayan.
Ma'ayan.
Tahira.
Tahira.
Hayawat.
Hayawat.
Daman.
Daman.
La'adama.
La'adama.
Shayatam.
Shayatam.
Nadab.
Nadab.
Yamawa.
Yamawa.
Kaira.
Kaira.
Bakas Abba.
Bakas Abba.
Bakas Abba.
Bakas Abba.
Bakas Zalmanai.
Bakas Zalmanai.
Call Nashikama.
Call Nashikama.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amaru.
Amaru.
Nairashah.
Nairashah.
Nana what?
Nana what?
Ah. Na'awah.
Na'awah.
Alahayam.
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 Shayatam.
Shayatam.
Kagalgala.
Kagalgala.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Lapanya.
Lapanya.
Rawaka.
Rawaka.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Daba Ira.
Daba Ira.
Ya'ira.
Ira.
Wakalahab.
Wakalahab.
Talahat.
Talahat.
Hariyam.
Hariyam.
Khan.
Khan.
Daba Datma.
Datma.
Basa Ira.
Basa Ira.
Wabasa.
Wabasa.
Wapathka.
Wapathka.
Daba Halom.
Daba Halom.
Mala'ai.
Mala'ai.
Panyaham.
Panyaham.
Qualawan.
Qualawan.
Wayat.
Wayat.
Bukwash.
Bukwash.
Shemka.
Shemka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yabashka.
Yabashka.
Wayat.
Wayat.
Behold.
Behold.
Ayai.
Ayai.
Wayat.
Wayat.
Kapar.
Kapar.
Wayat.
Wayat.
Abad.
Abad.
Wayat.
Wayat.
Ta'aywa. Kaya.
Kaya.
Athar.
Athar.
Shemka.
Shemka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Lebanka.
Lebanka.
Ayawan.
Ayawan.
Al.
Al.
Cal.
Cal.
Haratazar.
In the English. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo.
For lo.
Thine enemies make a tumult.
Thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee.
And they that hate thee.
Have lifted up the head.
Have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel.
Against thy people.
Against thy people.
And consulted.
And consulted.
Against thy hidden one.
Against thy hidden one.
They have said.
They have said.
Come. Let us cut them off.
Let us cut them off.
From being a nation.
From being a nation.
That the name of Yasharallah.
That the name of Yasharallah
may be no more remembered.
May be no more remembered.
For they have consulted together.
So they have consulted together.
With one consent.
With one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab. And the Hagarim.
And the Hagarim.
Gabal. And Ammon.
And
Amalek.
And Amalek.
The Philistines.
The Philistines.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Sorry, Assur is also joined with them.
Assur is also joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them.
Do unto them.
As unto the Midianites.
As to the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of Kison.
At the brook of Kison.
Which perished at Endor.
Which perished at Endor.
That became as dung for the earth.
That became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
And like Zahel.
Like Zahel.
Yea.
Yea.
All their princes as Sabbath.
All the princes of Sabbath.
And as Zamunah.
And as Zamunah.
Who said. Let us take to ourselves.
Let us take to ourselves.
The houses of Yahweh in possession.
The houses of Yahweh in possession.
Oh my power.
Oh my power.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As a stubble before the wind.
As a stubble before the wind.
As a fire burneth the wood.
As a fire burneth the wood.
As the flame set the mountains on fire.
As the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them.
So persecute them.
With thy tempest.
With thy tempest.
and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. They may seek thy name. O Yahweh. Let them be confounded. And troubled forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. That men may know. That thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high, over all the earth.
So it's turn. The Sabbath is seated.
Christ.
First, second, first,
1 and 8.
Second,
1 and 8. All right, shalom, Israel. Shalom, everybody that's tuning in. Once again, thank you for joining us. It's the Isupk Chicago Sabbath service. And we're going to be picking up where we left off last week. We're in the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 1 and verse 8. So where we are in the biblical narrative right now, in the story, is King Saul met his untimely demise, unseemly, untimely demise. As you know, Saul sinned against the Most High. Saul was the first king of Israel. Samuel, whose books we're reading, Samuel was the last judge of Israel. And then Israel begged for a king. Samuel warned them, but the Lord gave them the king they wanted. He gave them Saul. Saul militarized the men, domesticated the women, did everything the Lord said that he was going to do. And then Saul sinned against the Lord and fell out of favor. The Lord told Samuel to go and find Saul's replacement. Saul searched and searched till he came across the house of Jesse. And then in the house of Jesse, he found Jesse's youngest son, David, and said that David would one day be king. David slew Goliath. Long story short, David slew Goliath, found favor in Saul's eyes, found favor in the eyes of Israel. David became Saul's armor bearer, his right-hand man. He went out and won many battles against the Philistines, who are our main enemy at this time, the nation that was trying to destroy us over every nation. That's the nation that was trying to destroy us. David found favor in the eyes of the people. Women sang they came from battle one day. The lady sang a song about Saul slayed his thousands, David slayed his tens of thousands. Saul got jealous. The Lord had put an evil spirit on Saul. Saul tried to start murdering David at that point because of the jealousy of how popular David was. Eventually, David, after Saul trying to pin him to the wall with a javelin, at least I think 3 or 4 times, David decided to flee into the wilderness away from Saul's wrath before he died. Saul pursued David to no end. David had a chance to kill Saul twice, but he showed mercy. Saul repented to David and told him to come home, but then an Edomite named Doeg hyped Saul up to go after David again. So David ended up fleeing into the wilderness. Other wicked men got in Saul's ears. David went and finally said, I'm going to go hide amongst our enemies. So that way Saul would not pursue me. David ended up going and hiding with the Philistines, found favor with the Philistine king, and stayed there 3 years. And then the Philistines came up against the army of Israel. David showed up on the battlefield. The other king said, send David home because he'll betray us. Long story short, the battle ended up ensuing, and Israel lost. A lot of our brothers, because the Lord was not with Saul, who was our king at that time, so he was not with Israel. The army of Israel at that time was basically decimated by the Philistines. Saul, all of Saul's sons, all 3 of Saul's sons got killed, including Jonathan, who was David's best friend. All of Saul's sons died in that battle, which just shows the sins of the father revisited onto the child, because Jonathan was actually a righteous brother. He was David's best friend. He helped David escape from Saul. He helped David elude Saul. He was helping David hide from Saul. He did everything to protect David, and he ended up dying in battle because of his father's wickedness. Then in that same battle,
Saul got hit up with arrows. He was critically wounded with arrows, and he saw the enemies coming, and he told his armor bearer to kill him. Thrust me through with your sword before our enemies take my body and decimate me and torture me and do cruel things. You know what I mean? The armor bearer refused because he didn't want to kill Saul, because Saul was the Lord's anointed.
Right.
You know, he anointed him over Israel. Saul instead chose to take his own life and fell on top of his own sword. A horrible death for a man that was once respected, revered, and a mighty warrior. And when he was a great king, he was a great king.
That's right.
But he fell into wickedness, trying to please his people instead of pleasing the Lord. Now, the Philistines, of course, took Saul's body. They cut his head off and put it on the wall. They pinned Saul's body up to the wall. They just, you know, desecrated his body. They pinned Jonathan and all his sons, pinned their bodies up to the wall of their city. David heard about it. He mourned. He went and he took Saul's body and Jonathan and his brother's bodies down and burned them and buried the bones, so the Philistines couldn't desecrate them anymore. All right, so that's what we're about at in the story. Of course, the Amalekites, Amalek, while we were off at battle, well, all the men were off at battle, decided to raid villages and steal all the women and children. Right. So during that time, David went and rescued the women and children. Not only they took David's 2 wives, they took the women and children from Judah, but they also took women. They took women and children of the Philistines, what David was saying. So David went and rescued everybody. He didn't discriminate. He went and rescued everybody, returned them all safely home. He did not lose one soul. And then all the cattle and livestock that was taken, David took that for himself as spoil of war and as a reward. So that's about where we're at in the story. Let's continue on.
Here's this book of this is the book. If you do the English, this is the book of the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 1, verse 8 in the Hebrew. Where you Amar, Laya, Maya, Atha, where you Amar, wa Amar, Aliyahu, Amalakia, Anakaya, verse 9, where you Amar, Aliyah, Imad, Na'a, Aliyah, Wamathathanawa, Kaya, Akazanaya, Hashabataza, Kaya, Call, Iwad, Napashaya, Baya, verse 10, Waya Imad, Aliyah, Wamathatha Tawa, Wamat the Thawa, Kaya, Waraithia, Kaya, La'a, Yakaya, Akarya, Nepalawa, Wa'akwak, Hanazar, Ashar, Al, Wa'ashawa, Wa'ataza Ida, Ashar, Al, Zaraiwa, Wa'abaya, like Wa'abaya, all, Adaniya, Hana, verse 11, where Kuzak, Dawada, Babagadawa, Babagadayawa, where Koraim, Wagum, Call, Hanashiyam, Ashar, Athawa, verse 12, where Sapadawa, where Bakwa, where Tazamba, I, Tyra, Al, Shawal, Wa'al, Yahweh the Thun, Banawa, Wa'al, Ain, Yahweh, Wa'al, Bayaf, Yasharala, Kaya, Nepal, Bakara, verse 13, Amar, Dawada, all, Hana'ir, Hamagayad, Lawa, Aya, Mazah, Atha, Amar, Bun, Ayash, God, Amalakia, Anakia, verse 14, Amar, Alayawa, Dawada, Ayak, La'ah, Yara'ah, Lashalak, Yadak, Lashakath, Mashiach, Yahweh.
Reading the English. This is 2 Samuel, chapter 1, verse 8. And he said unto me, Who art thou? And I answered him, I am an Amalekite. All right, so as I said, the report came out to David that Saul and Jonathan were dead. A young man came and told him, and so he asked him. He said, he asked me, this young man saw. Let me just David 2 days and it came fast. The young man came out. Saul. Right, a young man came out. His clothes were ripped up. He fell to David's feet and he told him what he saw. And so at this point, he told him that Saul leaned on his spear and the chariots and the horsemen followed hard after him. He explained what happened in the battle. You know what I mean? And David's like, well, basically, who the heck are you? Right. And he said, I'm an Amalekite. Keep going. 2 Samuel chapter 1, verse 9. Mm-hmm. He said unto me again, stand, I pray thee, upon me and slay me, for anguish is come upon me, because my life is yet whole in me. Mm-hmm. Verse 10. So I stood upon him and slew him, because I was sure that he could not live after that he was fallen. And I took the crown that was upon his head and the bracelet that was on his arm, and have brought them hither unto my Lord. Now, to show you how Amalek is, he's lying. Right. He's lying. Saul took his own life so that his enemies would not kill him. He said Saul fell on the sword and I came upon him and Saul was still alive and he asked me to slay him. So I slew him and took his crown and gauntlets and brought him to you. That is not the account of what happened in the actual battle. You know what I mean? This Amalekite is trying to seek some type of personal glory, like he did something for Saul. You know what I mean? Go ahead. Verse 11. Then David took hold on his clothes and rent them, and likewise all the men that were with him. Mm-hmm. Verse 12. And they mourned and wept and fasted until even for Saul and for Jonathan his son, and for the people of the Lord, and for the house of Israel, because they were fallen by the sword. So renting the garment, renting the clothes, that was a tradition. You know what I mean? The brother, they all did that. You know, that was a sign of anguish and mourning and pain. You know what I mean? That was our tradition when we grieved for somebody that died in a horrible fashion like that, or someone that died. So they mourned Saul and all of Israel, Saul and Jonathan and all of Israel, because the house of Israel, our nation, had fallen. You know what I mean? Our king was dead. Our princes were dead that would inherit the throne. You know what I mean? Our soldiers, our mighty men, our warriors were dead. Right. You know, we took a big loss under Saul. So that's one of the lessons about following the right leadership. You know what I mean? Israel followed who they had wanted over them. You know what I mean? But we should always follow the Most High first. That's right. That's right. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the big lessons here. Continue on. Mm-hmm. Verse 13. And David said unto the young man and David said unto the young man that told him, whence art thou? And he answered, I am the son of a stranger
an Amalekite. Verse 14. And David said unto him, how wast thou not afraid to stretch forth thine hand to destroy the Lord's anointed?
See, now David wants to know, you know what I mean? Who are you? You know what I mean? Well, what are you doing here? Who are you? You know, who are you? Why were you not afraid to kill the king that was anointed over our nation by the Lord? You know what I mean? Whose son are you? Where are you from? Now David is wondering about this Amalekite's story.
Right.
You know what I mean? He wants to know more now. He's mourning, but he looked at him like, yeah, so you killed Saul? You know what I mean? Why weren't you afraid to kill the king of Israel, the Lord's anointed? Once again, even though Saul was wicked, Saul did fall off. The Lord wasn't with Saul. You have to remember, the Lord still anointed Saul to lead over Israel until the day that he died. Saul was our king until the day he died. You know what I mean? And David showed him that even right now, after he's dead, after everything he went through, David's still showing Saul that respect. He's still reverencing him at the title that the Lord gave unto him.
Right.
You know what I mean? All right, let's get these next 7. I'll pick it up. It's the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 1 and verse 15 in the Hebrew. Wayikara, Dawadah, La'akad, Mahan Ariyam, Wayamar, Nash, Panai, but what? Waya Kahawa, Wayamath. Verse 16. Wayamar, Alyuwa, Dawadah, Damayam, Damak, Saki. That's not Saki. That's Damayak, Damak, Al, Yashak, Kaya, Payak, Anaha, Bak, La'amar, Anakia. Sorry. Now, Anakia, Mathaya, Ath, Mashiach, Yahweh, verse 17. Wayakwanya, Slakia. Wayakanan, Dawadah, Ath, Hakoyanya, Hakoyana, Hazaath, Al, Sha'awal, Wa'al, Yahawanathan, Banya, verse 18. Wayamar, Lalamad, Banya, Yahweh. Oh yeah, the one. Yahweh, Kushath, Hanaha, Thawaba, Al, Sapar, Hayashar, verse 19. Hatazabya, Yasharala, Al, Bamuwatayak, Halala, Ayak, Nepalwa, Gabawarya, verse 21, Al, Saki, verse 20, Al, Tagayadwa, Bagath, Al, Tabasharwa, Bakawat Tazath, Ashak Lawan, Ashak Lawan, Han, the Shemakna, Banawath, Pelashathium, Han, the I know, right? I almost said it. The Lazana, Banyath, Ralyum. Ha'aralyum. Verse 21. Hariyah. Bana Saki. Baga Labai. Al. Saul. Al. Saul. No, that's a tar, right? Al. Tall. Wa'al. Matar. Alakam. Al-Yakam. Yashad, Washadia. The Ramath. Kaya. Sham. Nagail. Magan. Gavawarium. Magan. Shawal. Balya. Bashayath. Bashaman. All right.
What's your two, huh?
Yep.
This book of 2 Samuel, chapter 1, verse 15. And David called one of the young men and said, go near and fall upon him. And he smote him that he died.
You see, now, you see the price of lying? You know what I'm saying? He came up thinking that he's going to get some type of reward or mercy or some type of respect for coming up and lying and say that he's the one that killed Saul, that showed Saul some mercy while he was down. Like Saul was weakened. I mean, Saul did fall weak, but Saul killed himself. Right. He did not want his enemies to kill him. So David said, yeah, who are you? Why were you not afraid to kill the Lord's anointed? Hey, young man, come here. Fall on him. And the young man fell on him. Now, when they say fall, he ain't, fall on means get him, attack, kill him, take him down. And that's what he did. Keep going.
Verse 16. And David said unto him, thy blood be upon thy head, for thy mouth hath testified against thee, saying, I have slain the Lord's anointed.
He said, this is on you. This is your fault because you snitched on yourself. Your mouth said you killed the Lord's anointed. So your blood is on your hands. Your death is your fault. Keep going.
Verse 17. And David lamented with the lamentation over Saul and over Jonathan, his son.
He said he lamented with this lamentation. With this lamentation. Go ahead.
Verse 18. Also, he bade them to teach the children of Judah the use of the bow. Behold, it is written in the book of Joshua.
Now, keep in mind, you're going to see a whole bunch of people talk. See, it said the book of Joshua. Look, we don't have the book of Joshua. Okay? So, not that fake book that's out there that's theorizing what's in Joshua, like that fake Enoch and all these other fake books that are out there. We don't have these books. Right. But it's written in the book of Joshua that David told the children of Judah taught them how to use the bow after Saul fell in battle thanks to arrows. You know what I mean? Saul was basically fatally wounded, like I said, by a hail of arrows. And then we had to learn how to use that weapon for our sake in the battlefield, because Israel suffered great losses because of the archers. You know what I mean? Keep going.
Verse 19.
The beauty of Israel is slain upon thy high places. How are the mighty men, how are the mighty fallen?
Because the high places. You know, if you've ever seen any war movie, the archers, they shoot the arrows up high and they come down, and then they also surround you. If you're fighting in a valley, the archers will be on inside and rain them arrows down upon you. Right. You know what I mean? Also, the beauty of Israel is slain upon thy high places. How are the mighty fallen? The mighty army of Israel was fallen by archers that day, by Saul. And the high places, you know what I mean, is us being taken out of our place. You know what I mean? We were on top. We were a nation to be feared, and the mighty fell because of the sins of their king. You know what I mean? Right. By bad leadership. You know what I mean? Keep going.
Verse 20. Tell it not in Gath. Publish it not in the streets of Askelon, lest the daughters of the Philistines rejoice, lest the daughters of the uncircumcised triumph.
He says, so don't let this thing be known. Don't publish it nowhere. Don't go around talking about it and publicizing it. When he says don't publicize this. Don't speak about how the mighty is, how we have fallen, unless the daughters of our enemies are going to cheer. And the daughter, you know what I mean, they're going to celebrate. They're going to be happy. They're going to feel triumphant. You know what I mean? We're not going to speak upon how we fell and what happened with Saul. Keep going.
Verse 21. Ye mountains of Gilboa, let there be no dew, neither let there be rain upon you, nor fields of offerings. For there the shield of the mighty is vilely cast away. The shield of Saul, as though he had not been anointed with oil.
Now, saying the shield of the mighty is vilely cast away. The mighty is the shield is our protection. You know what I mean? Saul's shield was like he had not been anointed with oil. He died like a heathen. He's not a heathen, but he died like someone that the Lord did not protect. Right. He died like he had no good, like he wasn't anointed. He had to fall on his own sword and kill him. He'd kill himself. That is no way for the anointed of the Lord to die. It's like with no honor. Right, exactly. The water. That's excellent. He died with no honor. You know what I mean? He had the little honor that he had left, because he fell on his sword so that he wouldn't be taken and tortured by the Philistines and disgraced. You know, he died with as much honor and dignity as he could in that situation, but it was not the most honorable death. You know what I mean? It was a shame the way Saul died. Such a mighty man and a mighty king a leader of our people should not have to die that way.
Deserve better.
He deserved a lot better. So he's saying, that's what he's saying. Look, that no dew be on the mountain of Gilboa. Don't let it rain. No fields of offerings. You know what I mean? He's saying all this stuff. Just stop this. Lord, stop it all. You know what I mean? Because the shield of Israel fell, and Saul had died as he had no shield, as he was not protected by the Lord. The shield that they're talking about is the Lord's protection over us. When the Lord is with us, we are unstoppable.
Right.
But when he's not with us, our nation ends up like our first king. You know what I'm saying? We end up killing ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Our enemies overtake us and we end up killing ourselves. Look at us in America. Our enemies have overtaken us and we're killing ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Just like we did then, we're doing it now. All right. Let's get these. I thought you had something. Let's get these next ones.
Okay. This is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 1, verse 22 in the Hebrew. Badam, Kalalayam, Makala, Gabuayam, Kwashaf, Yahamathan, La'a, Neshawag, Akawar, Wakara, Sha'awal, La'a, Dashawag, Raikwam, verse 23, Sha'awal, where you having a thun, Hana Habayam. What happened to Yum? It's like, well, how are ya? Mom. Because ya hum. Wabama, Wamath, La'a, Naparawa, Manashu Raya, Kualawa, Ma'araya Wath, Gabarawa, verse 24, Banawath, Yasharala, Al, Sa'awal, Bakayana, Hamalab Shakam, Shanaya, Idanayam, Hama'ila, Idaya, Zaha, Al, Labawashakan, verse 25, Ayak, Nepal, Gabariyam, Bathawak, Hamalakma, Yahamanathan, Al, Bamawathayak, Kalal, verse 26, Tazar, Laya, Alayak, Hakaya, Yahamanathan, Na'imath, Laya, Ma'ad, Napala, Lahatha, Mahabathak, Laya, Mahabath, Nashiyam, verse 27, Ayak, Napalawa, Gabawaryan, Waya Abadwa, Kalaya, Malakma.
You can stop that and get the door. All right, let's get it into English. And we'll start the next chapter.
Khan out of Khan. This is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 1, verse 22. From the blood of the slain, from the fat of the mighty, the bow of Jonathan turned not back, and the sword of Saul returned not empty. Verse 23, Saul and Jonathan were lovely and pleasant in their lives, and in their death they were not divided. They were swifter than eagles, they were stronger than lions.
He's saying, listen, even though Saul died a shameful death, even though Saul deserved a better death than what he got, he said, don't get it wrong. You know what I mean? Their swords didn't come back empty. They fought. They fought strong. They fought mighty. They slew a lot of Philistines.
Right.
You know what I mean? Jonathan didn't turn and cower. You know what I mean? Saul didn't turn and run and cower. None of them turned and ran away from that battlefield. They fought unto the death.
Right.
They fought bravely and they fought strongly until the moment that they died. Keep going.
Khan out of Khan is verse 24. Ye daughters of Israel, weep over Saul, who clothed you in scarlet with other delights, who put on ornaments of gold upon your apparel. Verse 25, how are the mighty fallen in the midst of battle? O Jonathan, thou wast slain in thine high places.
He said, Jonathan was slain in a high place at the height of his life. Jonathan was slain in his prime. You know what I mean? He telling the daughters of Israel, weep over Saul. You know what I'm saying? Don't rejoice over his death. Don't speak ill about him. You know what I mean? He the one that clothed you in scarlet. He put that beautiful garment on your back.
Right.
He the one that put gold on that beautiful scarlet. He is the one that increased us and made us and helped us become rich and grew as a nation. You know what I mean? So don't go and ridicule this man. Don't talk bad about him. Weep over him because he's the one that made you glorious.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And then Jonathan and realized that Jonathan was a good brother that was slain in the prime of his life. That's why in his high places, you know what I mean? Jonathan was in his prime. Jonathan was on top. He was righteous. Jonathan was a good brother. He lived the way the Lord wanted him to live. He was a good friend to David.
right.
You know what I mean? He unfortunately died because of, like I said, because of what his father was doing. You know what I mean? Because the Lord told Saul that Saul and that all his sons were going to die, that his bloodline was going to be killed. You know what I mean? So the Lord doesn't break promises, and the Lord doesn't show any mercy. The Lord is not a respecter of persons.
Right.
When he told Saul, you and all your sons are going to die, that included Jonathan. You know what I mean? So we need to be careful what we do, because we can get our friends and our families and our children punished by the Lord because of our foolish actions. Look what Saul did.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Keep going.
Go
ahead.
That's like David basically covered the shame of his father.
Yeah. Come. Yeah, he knows Saul fell off. You know what I mean? He know that Israel lost this battle because Saul fell off. You know what I mean? But like you said, he's covering that up. He's not covering it up. He's just not allowing Saul to be disrespected. You know what I'm saying? How we did with head priest Ariah before Passover, when the word whatever of his death went around. You know what I mean? In the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out at 1 West 125th Street, all of New York, under Commander General Yohana. We honored that man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever he did after he left the truth, after he left the UPK, if he fell off, whatever, other groups are out here disrespecting. They honored him 1 minute and disrespected him the next. The further they came away from the news of from the word of his passing. Commander General Yohana, we honored that man. We honored Ariah all the way up through Passover and to this day. Whether he's dead or alive, we honored that man for what he did, because he's the one. You know what I mean? Him and the rest of the 7 heads and Abba Bibbins and all these men, they're the reasons that we're so glorious today. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones that clothed us in crimson and put gold on our garments. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for their work and their sacrifice, we wouldn't be where we are today.
Right.
So that's what David is telling people, telling the daughters of Israel, the people of Israel, honor Saul. Don't talk bad about that man. Don't disgrace him. He was the Lord's anointed. You know what I'm saying? Have some respect for the dead. Keep going.
Verse 26. And I am distressed for thee, my brother Jonathan. Very pleasant hast thou been unto me. Thy love to me was wonderful, passing the love of women. Verse.
Now, Egypt, so-called conscious community cats, and so-called Egyptologists, Hotep niggas, and doubters of the Bible try to use this and to say that homosexuality is approved of in the Bible. They say, look at the relationship of David and Jonathan. Jonathan, he said, he started this off, I am distressed of thee, my brother, Jonathan. Then he ended it by saying, you know what I mean? Thy love to me was wonderful, passing the love of a woman. I love my brothers more than I love my rib. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We battle together. We drink together. We eat together. We go out here and fight the world together.
That's right.
I got a love for these brothers that surpass the love I could have for a woman. I'd rather be around my brothers than around anybody else in the world. I'd rather that we had one big goddamn mansion that we could all live in. You know what I'm saying? We could be around each other, not have to slave, and be able to live and do this work together. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get it wrong. I need my rib for certain things. You know, the love of my woman is the love of my woman. But don't try to use this. This is brotherhood. That's the love he's talking about. If you've never known, I have my younger brother, right? I love my brother. I have an older brother and 2 younger brothers. I love them more than, in my lifetime, I love them more than any woman I ever met, because they're my family. Right. They're my brothers. That's my blood. You get what I'm saying? So for somebody to look at David and Jonathan's, my best friend, bro, didn't we just say in the world, bros over hoes?
Right.
So that means that you love your brothers more than these I almost said the B word, more than these women out here. You know what I mean? Yo, you supposed to love your brother over these women. If you love that woman more than you love your brother, you a sucker. Because that woman will leave you, and your brother never will. You know what I mean?
Damn right.
And that's how David felt about Jonathan. David said, I loved you more than any, I had more love for you than any love that I could have for a woman. Because you was my dog. You was my roller. You was my day one, my A1 day one.
That's right.
The moment Jonathan and David met, they instantly bonded and became best friends from the first damn day. Right. From the first day they met to the day Jonathan died. So get that homosexual, we can get that LGBTQ thought process out of your mind when you think about David and Jonathan. You looking at two best friends. And actually they were brothers. They were brother-in-laws because David did marry Jonathan's sister. Right. You know what I'm saying? So for you cats, man, y'all ain't nothing but a bunch of freaking perverts, weirdos, and degenerates when y'all try to say that this was something LGBTQ love. Get out of here. Keep going, Slocky.
Khan out of Khan. Verse 27. Mm-hmm. How are the mighty fallen and the weapons of war perished?
All right, let's get to the next chapter. Yeah, the mighty have fallen. Yeah, the mighty Israel has fallen, and the weapons of war, that's our army. The army perished. You know what I mean? All because of one man's wickedness. You know, it just goes to show you everybody in our nation has to be right, especially our leadership. You can't just follow after somebody because they got on some fancy purple and gold garments and they tell you everything that you want to hear and don't tell you what the Lord wants you to hear. You know, there's a lot of cats out here that are horrible leaders in Israel. I ain't just talking about that. The Christian churches included, that Muslim mosque, you know what I mean, that Jewish temple, that Buddhist temple, all that crap is included in horrible leadership because you got black people in high positions and all of that nonsense. Right. But also the leaders of these fake Israelite groups. Go ahead.
What you say out of why that's so heavy is that, and you see the third world war is here. And why not these pastors in these damn churches? They go to church every Sunday, not saying anything about the third world war, bringing out the scripture. They won't wear a beard, they bald headed, and they eat pork all damn day. Why you not telling our people this? Mm-hmm. That's why the commander General we're having this today. We have to stand on our 2 feet and follow the Most High God and Commander General Yohana.
Yeah, I'm right. Now let's get these next. Let's get Book of Samuel, chapter 2.
Come. Book of 2 Samuel, chapter 2, verse 1 in the Hebrew. Wayahya, Akarya, Khan, Wayasharala, Dawada, Bayahawa, La'amar, Ma'ila, Ba'akath, Ariyah, Yahawada, Waya Amar, Yahawah, Aliyawa, Ila, Waya Amar, Dawada, Ana, Ila, Waya Amar, Habarna, it's like Kabarana, verse 2, Waya Shum, Dawada, Wagam, Shataya, Nasiyawa, Akayana'ain, Hayazar Alayaf, Wabayagayaw, Ashaf, Nicole, Hakamala, it's like Hakar, Malaya, verse 3, Wa Nasiyawa, Ashar, Amawa, Ma'ila, Dawada, Ayash, Wabayathma, Wayasabwa, Ba'iriya, Habarwan, verse 4, Wayabawa, Anasiya, Yahawada, Wayashikamba, Shum, Af, Dawada, Namalak, Al, Bayath, Yahawada, Wayagadwa, La Dawada, La Amar, Anasiya, Yabayash, Galai, Ashar, Kobarwa, Sa'awal, verse 5, Yashalak, Dawada, Malakayam, Al, Anasiya, Yamayash, Galai, Amar, Aliyahum, Barakayam, Atham, Layahawa, Ashar, Ashiyathum, Wakasad, Hazah, Ain, Adaniyakum, Ain, Sha'awal, what the Qarabo was, Athawa, verse 6, Wa'itha, Ya'aish, Yahweh, Amakam, Kasad, Wa'amath, Wagam, Anakaya, Aisha, Athakam, Hatawaba, Hazaath, Ashar, Ashiyatham, Hadabar, Hazah, or 7, Wa'itha, Dakozak Kuna, Wadayanakam, Wahayawa, Labanaya, Kaya, Math, Adaniyakam, Sha'awal, Wagam, Athaya, Mashikama, it's like Mashikawa, Bayath, Yahawada, Lamalak, Ayahum.
You got it. Okay. There's a book of 2 Samuel, chapter 2, verse 1. And it came to pass after this that David inquired of the Lord, saying, shall I go up into any of the cities of Judah? And the Lord said unto him, go up. And David said, whither shall I go up? And he said, unto Hebron. Verse 2. So David went up thither, and his So David went up thither, and his 2 wives also.
His what?
His 2 wives also.
Okay. I just wanted to hear that clearly.
Yeah, I think it was 2.
I think it was.
That's multiple, isn't it?
Yeah, that's multiple wives.
Sloppy, sir.
And
That was 2, he said 2.
that was 2 wives.
Oh,
Right. Then this is the Old Testament, right?
come.
Okay, I'm just making sure in the Bible.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, yeah, 2 multiple wives. Imagine that.
Sloppy, sir. Keep going.
Keep going.
Okay. Ahinoam. Is that sloppy? That's how you say it? Let me start over. Verse 2. So David went up thither, and his 2 wives also. Ahinoam, the Jezreelites, and Abigail, Nabal's wife, the Carmelite. Verse 3. And his men that were with him did David bring up, every man with his household, and they dwelt in the cities of Hebron.
At that time, David asked that he go to Judah because David was still living in the land of the Philistines. Remember, he had found favor with this Philistine king, and the king gave David land. Right. So now he asked the Lord, basically, is it time for me to go home? The Lord said, yeah, go to Hebron. You know what I mean? And David had 600 men with him. He had an army of 600. You know what I'm saying? Right. And he had 600 men in all of their households, meaning all their wives and all their children and all their families with them. So David had, you know what I mean, probably a couple thousand people. You know what I mean? You take 600 and then you add that a wife to each man, that's 1,200 right there. Right. Then you add multiple wives and multiple children. David had I can't speculate, but David possibly had a couple thousand people with him. You know what I mean? Keep going.
Verse 4. And the men of Judah came, and there they anointed David king over the house of Judah. And they told David, saying that the men Jabesh I'll start over. And they told David, saying that the men of Jabesh Gilead were they that buried Saul.
So once David came up, they made David king of Judah.
Right.
As soon as he came into the city, they anointed him. They anointed David king, and they said the men of the best Gilead, they were the ones that burned Saul. You know what I mean? Letting them know what happened. Keep going.
Verse 5. And
buried Saul. So I said burned, buried. Keep going.
Verse 5. And David sent messengers unto the men of Jabesh, Gilead, and said unto them, Blessed be of the Lord that ye have.
Read that again.
Slack sir.
Skip the word. Go ahead.
Blessed be ye of the Lord that ye have showed this kindness unto your Lord, even unto Saul, and have buried him.
Because remember, they had to sneak to the Philistine camp and steal Saul's body off the wall. You know what I'm saying? And they buried him and everything. You know what I mean? So David just told them, you know, y'all are blessed be ye by the Lord. You know what I'm saying? You've done a great service. You know what I'm saying? To your former king. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And now the Lord show kindness and truth unto you, and I also requite you this kindness, because ye have done this thing. Verse 7. Therefore now let your hands be strengthened, and be ye valiant, for your master Saul is dead, and also the king of Judah.
They don't say king right there.
Oh, slack it. Let me start over. Verse 7. Therefore now let your hands be strengthened, and be ye valiant, for your master Saul is dead, and also the house of Judah have anointed me king over them.
So he's saying, you know, Saul had a horrible death. They showed a great kindness by burying their brother with some honor and some dignity. You know what I mean? And not letting him sit on the wall and rot. You know what I mean? That was just beneath him, regardless of if he fell off or not. Regardless of if his wickedness cost Israel, you know what I mean, that horrible defeat that we suffered, he still was our king and deserved to be buried like a damn king.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So he just blessed those men for doing that, you know what I mean, and honored them and said, the Lord is going to repay you. You know what I mean? And he's letting them know now that Judah made me king over the house of Judah. He's not over Israel yet, but he is over the house of Judah. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So we're going to pick up the next 7 in the Hebrew. All right. Oh, that was just haunting my soul. I had to make sure, you know what I mean? All right, let's get these next 8. I'll pick next 7. Now I'll pick these up. It's the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 2, and verse 8 in the Hebrew. Well, Banar, Ban, Nar, Shar, Tazabah, Ashar, Lashawal, Luquath, Ath, Ayash, Bashath, Ban, Sha'awal, Wahibarwa, Matanyam, verse 9. Wayamalak, Waya Malakawa, Al, Hagal, Hagaliah, Hagalai, Wa'al, Ha'ashawarya, Wa'al, Yazar, Ayal, Wa'al, Iparium, Wa'al, Banayamak, Wa'al, Yasharala, Kala, verse 10, Ban, Arabai, why can't I say this? Arab Ayam, Abaria, Shana, Ayash, Bashath, Ban, Sha'awal, Bamalakwa, Al, Yasharala, Washathium, Shabanyum, Malak, Ak, Bayath, Yahurda, Yahawada, Hayawa, Akarya, Dawada, verse 11. Waya, Masapar, Hayamyam, Ashar, Haya, Dawada, Malak, Bakabarwa, Bakabarwan, Al, Bayath, Yahawada, Shabai, Shabayam, Washasha, Kadashim, verse 12. Wayatazar, Abanar, Ban, Bar, Waibaria, Ayash, Bashath, Ban, Sha'awal, Mamakanyam, Gabai, Wana, verse 13. Waya, Wa'ab, Ban, Tazarya, Wa'aibadia, Dawada, Yatazawa, Waya Pagashawam, Barakath, Gabaiwan, Yakadwa, Wayashabwa, Allah, Habaraka, Mazaha, wa Allah, Habaraka, Mazah, verse 14. Wa Yamar, Abanar, Yawab, Yakwam, Yakawa Mawa, Na'a, Hana'ayam, Wayashak Kwawa, Lapan Yanak, Lapan Yanawa, Wayamar, Yawa'ab, Yakoman. That's it. Pick it up.
Khan. Here's the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 2, verse 8. But Abner, the son of Ner, captain of Saul's host, took Ishbosheth, Is that how you say that word? Sloppy.
So took his, took Ishbosheth.
Captain of Saul's host took Ishbosheth, the son of Saul, and brought him over to Mahanaim. Verse 9, and made him king over Gilead, and over the Asherites, and over Jezreel, and over Ephraim, and over Benjamin, and over all Israel. Verse 10, Ishbosheth, Saul's son, was 40 years old when he began to reign over Israel, and reigned 2 years. But the house of Judah followed David.
Now see how, now here's the thing, the captain of Saul's army, when it says Saul's host, that's the captain of his army. He took Saul's other son and made him king over Gilead and over these places. You know what I mean? Over Jezreel and Ephraim and Benjamin and over Israel. So he took Saul's son and made him king over Israel while Saul was king over Judah. So he just created a division right there. You know what I mean? Keep going.
Come. Verse 11. And the time that David was king in Hebron over the house of Judah was 7 years and 6 months.
So Ishbosheth was only over Israel. He reigned 2 years. And in them 2 years, Judah followed David, and David reigned strictly over the house of Judah for 7.5 years. Keep going.
Verse 12. And Abner, the son of Ner, and the servants of Ishbosheth, the son of Saul, went out from Mahanaim to Gibeon. Verse 13. And Joab, the son of Zuriah, and the servants of David went out and met together by the pool of Gibeon. And they sat down, the one on the one side of the pool, and the other on the other side of the pool. Verse 14. And Abner said to Joab, let the young men now arise and play before us. And Joab said, let them arise. Verse 15.
That's it.
Okay.
All right, so basically, you know, that everything that just happened is self-explanatory. You know what I mean? Service of David met together at the pool. They sat down, one on top of the pool, outside the pool. So they're just having a meeting right now. You know what I mean? That's all that's happening. So with that, we're gonna call it.
Mr. Stamp.
Now Yasharag.
This. Help them out on that side. Yes, sir.
I'm Muslim, Mr. Stamp. Hold on, the dummy, turn to face the east. You go do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abba now. Shabbat Shemayim. Quadash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malawaka. Taba'ah. Ratazai. Hayah. Aisha. Pa'aratazah. Kawak.
Hiya,
Bashamaya,
the Thulinau,
the
Come,
Cow,
you won,
Basalakina,
Basalakina,
Salakina,
Kabawayana, Wala
Tabayayana,
Bonasai
on the side one,
Above,
a ball,
Kamashai,
Abashai now,
Mayan,
Right,
Kaya,
look
Luka,
up,
Hamalakwa,
Amalakwa,
Baha'al,
Waha'ala,
Barthapara,
I
I will love you, Amon,
in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
That
will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day, our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
Cut the pound in Hebrew, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Baba Kashah, the Thulinau, Hakat, now for us, call Makallah, we'll call Matawat, Hakat, that's hard, Hamatasa Ryan, Hakat, Lahaki, Hamata, Hakat, Al Kawa, Tama'al, the Garshan, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah,
What English, Yahweh. In the name Yahweh Shai. Please give us the power. Power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. Power to cleanse the leper. Power to raise the dead. Power against unclean spirits. Cast them out. In the name Yahweh Shai. Thank you, so be it.
Now bless Israel, the Hebrew.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem. Yahweh Shai. Baraklanau. Wayashala. Hobayah. Sapari. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Wadaman.
In English, Yahweh. In the name Yahweh Shai. Bless us. And Israel. And the school. In the name Yahweh Shai. Thank you, so be it.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asherah,
Ayanya,
Ahahari, Mayan,
Yaba'ah,
Izari, Ma'ain, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Boratazar, Ayathan, number what? Bagal, Al Yanawah, Shamar, Hanala'ah, Yanawah, Wala'ah, Yayasan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamar, Yahweh, Tazal, Al Yamyaka, Yawamah, Hashamat, La'ah, Yakai, Wayarab, Belayallah, Yahweh, Yashamar, Call Ride, Yashamar, After Pashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'at, Wabawa'atka, my thug, I will love in the English. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. Which cometh my help? My help coming from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasharala shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in. This time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayam,
Al-Damiyah,
look up, all Takarat, all Tashaquat, all Kayahana, Awabika, Yahama, Yawan, Ra'ash, Al-Amaka, Ya'awayam, Sawada, Wayata, Ya'ai Tazawak, Al Tazawak, Amar, Lakawa, Manakaki Dum, Magoya, Wala'ai, Yazakar, Sham Yasha'ala, I will duck, Kaya, Nawai Tazawak, Labut, Yakad, Ayaka, Barya, Yakaratu,
Yasharata,
Ahoya, Adawan, Boy Yashimai, Alayam, Mawa Abba, Wahagari, Gabal, Wa'amawan, Wa'amala, Palashat, Yasabi, Tazawar, Gum Ashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zerawai, Labanya, Lawat, Salah, Aisha, Laham, Kamani, Kasaya, Sarah, Kiyami, Monakal, Kwayashawan, Nashamadu, Bayan, Da'ira, Hayawa, Daman, La Adama, Sayadam, Nada, Yadmu, Kaira, Bakazabah, Bakazabah, Manai, Call Nasir Ashar, Amaru, Naira Shah, Lanawa, Na'awa, Alahayam, Sayadamu, Kagala, Kakwash, Yapanya, Rawaka, Ka'ash, Dabaira, Yaira, Wakalaha, Talahat, Hariyam, Khan, Daradam, Basa Ira, Wabasa, Wapat, Dabahalam, Mala'ah, Panyaham, Kwalawan, Waya, Bukwash, Shimka, Yahau, Yabash, Waya, Behold, Adi, Waya, Kapar, Waya, Abad, Waya, Da'ira, Kaya, Atha, Shimka, Yahawah, Labad, Ayawan, Al, Cal,
Haratazah. In the English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumult.
Thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee.
And they that hate thee.
Have lifted up the head.
Have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel.
It's like it. Against thy people.
Against thy people.
And consulted. Against thy hidden ones.
Against thy hidden ones.
They have said. Come, let us cut them off. From being a nation. That the name of Yasharah. May be no more remembered. Because they have consulted together. With one consent. They are confederate against the tabernacles of Edom. And the Israelites. Of Moab. And Ammon. It's like of Moab. And the Hagarenes. Gabal. And Ammon. And Amalek, the Philistines, but the inhabitants of Tyre, Assur also joined them. They have hope in the children of light. To love, do unto them, as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zeheb. Yea, all their princes as Sabbath, and as Zamun, who said, let's take to ourselves, the houses of Yahweh possession. Oh my power, make them like a wheel. As a stubble before the wind. As the fire burneth the wood. As the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them. With thy storm. So persecute them. With thy tempest. And make them afraid. With thy storm. Fill their face with shame. They may seek thy name. O Yahweh. Let them be confounded. And troubled forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. That men may know. That thou, whose name alone is Yahweh. The Most High. Over all the earth.
Sorry, Mr. Turn. Man of Israel, Imam Shabbat, a Muslim, Barak, Yahweh, Shabbat, Yes, Sabbath service dismissed.